We are back live. It's your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. www.bolopunchboxinghour.com. Streaming to you live as always on Ustream.tv. Emil Soto-Popinski Kekabine on the right side of your screen. I'm your host, Chris Guzman. Timmy, the producer, Patterson at the controls. Timmy, how can our listeners get in touch with us tonight?
Hit us up on the hotline, 219-743-9743. Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running. Keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour. Or the best way to reach us is via the chat room via Ustream.tv. Sorry for the technical difficulties we've been having, but we're back up and hopefully we'll be good for the rest of the night.
Or for the next 30 seconds, if it's anything like what we've been experiencing. Those of you that are listening live, thank you for persevering. And there we are.
We're going to run through this one more time.
I'm going to run through this. Maybe it's the material that's killing our system. But really quickly, Jose Sulaiman, never to be outdone, always willing to defend a fighter's rights, to defend his safety, and to come up with a new boxing title. As if vacant, interim, intercontinental, tag team, TV champion, champion in recess, and champion emeritus, those type things, as if those aren't enough. He's now come up with a quote-unquote ambassador of peace and goodwill in the world through sports. Because that's the title that he has given to Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest has sustained an injury. He's not going to be able to fight against Sergio Martinez, pardon me.
Yeah, Martinez, who fought his last fight to a draw with Kermit Cintron, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
He is.
But they didn't hear you, so it's okay. So officially, you didn't say it.
He is pretty similar in I would say stature to Vernon Forrest at this point. I mean, they kind of beat a couple big names, but never became the icon that they could have.
Vernon Forrest did. He had everything going for him by beating Sugar Shane Mosley twice.
And at the pinnacle of Mosley's career when he was considered pound for pound the best.
Oh, man. So, I mean, for a while there, they were saying, well, Vernon Forrest has to be the best. He beat the best guy.
Yeah, and his surgery on his shoulder had a little bit to do with
definitely did.
Why he kind of fell on the wayside, and now obviously he has another injury here.
But when Ruslan Shaigev was injured, they called him champion in recess.
In Russia,
when
I don't know.
in restaurant,
champion in Russia, I don't know.
Champion in restroom, whatever. Ruslan Shaigev was given a fake, made-up title while he recovered. This is your Band-Aid title, essentially, is what champion in recess means to me.
And here with ambassador, it kind of means the same thing. I'm guessing that it just basically means he's going to get his shot when he feels healthy.
But why do you have to keep naming them new things?
I don't know.
If you're gonna create something, a few years ago, champion in recess, fine. Stick with the lingo that we've all agreed upon. Not that I've even agreed on that, but now I don't want to agree on that because you're even gonna write new shit now. I don't know. Don't make up even more new belts and ambassadorships. What, he goes to the embassy now? What does he do? What does he do? He's the embassy for
Kiss my finger. Kiss my ring.
It's ridiculous. So yes, congratulations to Vernon Forrest for hurting yourself. You're now the WBC ambassador. And ambassador of Kwan.
But Martinez does pick up the 154 belt here. That's probably the biggest news out of all of this. I mean, a very skilled fighter, only has one loss on his record.
Yippee-ki-yay.
To a guy that has, early in his career, I don't know if he had the plaster of Paris in his hands then, but he obviously did in California not too long ago. And ends up getting a belt here very deservedly. I thought he beat Kermit Cintron in his last fight, and happy to see him having a belt because I want to see him on fighting more big names.
I have a question. What was your Antonio Margarito tie-in with this?
That is who Martinez lost to. His one loss.
Oh, that was his one loss. Okay. All right, I got you now.
Don't ask me. I don't know why I remember that, but
I got to take the head off to that. That was good, man. That was good. By the way, this is my De La Hoya Pacquiao hat.
I like it, dude.
And you know what?
It looks very much like my De La Hoya Mayweather hat.
Well, it was obviously made by De La Hoya because De La Hoya is the top of both of those hats. and he got beat in both of those fights.
And
But he's Oscar, so he's the top name.
And yeah,
When he's 58 years old and he decides to dust off those mitts again and he wants to get back in the ring, he will be top of the line.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come back. It's very hard.
He's not going to.
It's very hard for fighters to stay retired.
It is. What's he going to do? You watch. Oscar De La Hoya is going to be on the Celebrity Apprentice next season. I'm calling it right now.
I don't know about that. He makes an awful lot of money to have to be on that show.
Lennox Lewis has a lot of money. He didn't need to go on there for money. This is money for charity.
I think that De La Hoya might be able to stay retired just because he has so much to do still with boxing, and obviously is making some good money still outside the ring. So he doesn't need to get hit anymore, and he has some talents outside the ring.
On ESPN.com, they're actually talking quite a bit about Roy Jones possibly fighting Jeff Left Hook Lacy in a light heavyweight fight.
Do you think Lacy has a chance in this one? Obviously,
no.
that's
well, I need to file that under who the hell cares.
That's obviously why Jones wants to fight him, but does Lacy have a... He doesn't think that Lacy has a chance against him.
Well, Lacy doesn't carry any worth in this. What does Roy think is going to happen? Okay, so he beats Jeff Lacy. Who cares? No one's going to care about that. And why is Lacy going up to light heavy? Just so he can fight Roy?
It's not that. It's, I mean, was it 6 more pounds? I think he could manage that. I mean, is he going to get? Is he going to get Jones in line to fight Miguel Kessler? Is he going to get him in line to fight?
No.
Adamek? Is he going to get him in line to fight Cunningham? I don't think.
No, you don't take someone from super middle, move him up, beat him. Unless you're Jermaine Taylor, you start bringing guys up.
Well, Jermaine Taylor actually moved up in weight and fought somebody and ended up losing that fight. So
he hung out at middle and got beat by the middleweight champion twice.
Yeah.
And then moved up to super middle and lost. Okay, Carl Froch, yeah. Well, that's what you're talking about, yeah. So, do I care about Roy Jones fighting Jeff Lacy? Sorry. No, I mean, I'll watch. I love watching Roy Jones fight.
I don't know.
This new geriatric Jones, but...
I don't know if I'm going to pay $29.95 that he's going to charge for this pay-per-view. Obviously, that's what he usually charges for his pay-per-views. I'll probably be over at Justin's watching it.
Justin definitely needs to be showing us that. How we doing, Timmy?
2 minutes.
We're still on.
And we're still
on. Talk a second, Mo, about Floyd Mayweather coming back in. Juan Manuel Marquez obviously is one of the best fighters in the world right now. He's ranked number 2 in the pound for pound rankings.
I think Mayweather has a grand scheme in his plan here. He wants to fight the number 2 guy so he can say that obviously everybody's going to say either him or Pacquiao are number 1 at that point. Right now, when he comes back, most people can't put him in the pound for pound list because he hasn't fought in over a year. But if he comes back and beats...
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, if he comes back and beats the number 2 guy...
Then he becomes the number 2 guy.
Yeah, becomes the number 2, and some guys' books might even put him as the number 1 because he was before he retired.
Don't let Sulaiman get a hold of this.
So they're going to...
He'll start screwing with the pound for pound rankings, too. The pound for pound greatest emeritus in recess.
But already you got Pacquiao, who's going to have plenty of hype. You're going to have Mayweather, who has plenty of hype. But now you're going to add the number 1 pound for pound guy against the number 2 pound for pound guy. When has that ever happened? You know, that's going to be the big hype on that fight, and it's going to end up being the biggest event of the year if it happens this year or next year. I mean, it's going to obviously going to outrank Pacquiao versus Hatton. I mean, Mayweather fought his last fight against Hatton and beat him pretty handily as well. So we got to see what these 2 guys can do.
Well, since we're talking about pound for pound, we're going to give a Bolo Punch prize pack out right now to the first caller on the Bolo Punch hotline with the correct answer to this question. I'm gonna give it right now, and we're gonna go ahead and take a break right after I ask it. So we're gonna get the whole, we're gonna get all the phone lines lit up right now. Who is the first fighter to ever been given the title of pound for pound best fighter in the world? Again, who is the best? Who is the first fighter ever to be given the title pound for pound the greatest fighter in the world as an official title?
I'm guessing by Ring Magazine. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Take a break.
All right, we'll be right back. This is your Bolo Punch. We'll see you in a bit.